welcome to the channel. Today I'm looking into an abandoned railway, or rather what's left of it. So it was bought in 1897 by Finland factory, and in 1898 they built a track that went from the lake to a peat bog where they were supposed to dig peat, treat it. They have built all kind of facilities there, and today we are going to go and see what's left of the track, what's left of the buildings and so on. But I will tell you more about the details if we find something. So one of the first things to show, okay, there you can see some huts and the lake. So from that lake they made a track. I can't imagine how. Maybe the track bed was underneath this road, and it goes underneath the road to that side. There's now some small stream there, nothing else. So I think based on what I found, that road you see in front of us, next between the construction site, is the original track bed. I think there's nothing else for us to other than head that way. Hello, so it was good that I came here. There's some big construction going on in this area, so I don't know for how long there will be stuff left. It's quite cold here. Winter is starting to come. But the old road that had the track bed on it, I was supposed to follow it until the forest edge where there should be more. There's some really big construction site there, and there's supposed to be houses there, but the whole road is blocked. I don't know if you can hear the sounds of the excavators, so I need to find a way around it to that place. Let's see. Okay, so after a lot of disappointment, I realized that there's construction sites, big ones, road construction and some other stuff going on the other side. So both sides of it's kind of like a narrow area which is protected for this railroad track. And yeah, nice part is that there's a path on the railroad track, and I found it. Here, I came from that direction. They had basically, due to the construction site, blocked the access to the railroad track. Here you can see it's kind of grooves. I don't know what these are for. What was here? Here goes down. Here's the embankment goes down. I will show you the depth height of the embankment. So, excuse me. So, okay, hello. So I'm in the more or less bottom of the embankment, and you are basically now where the rails used to be. It's a very narrow one. I don't know if could there be something left underneath here, tracks or anything? No. I think water has eroded most of the track bed or what there was. So I'm not supposed to make a choice. Find the rest of the track. So in the end of this track there's supposed to be remains of some buildings. They didn't know much what they were. Sorry about getting out of breath. There was supposed to be some sort of log cabin for the executives of the factory, and then there was supposed to be some steam engine facility and some other buildings there, and of course holes where they took the peat out from, putting them on train cart and hauled here. If you look here, this is the track. They dug it into the bedrock, and funny enough you can see kind of grooves here. I don't know if this actually would be where the track used to be. Maybe the track is still there, I don't know. They had online, the government had some pictures about this place, but they were all from the time when it was decommissioned. So not so much left of it. But I will tell you now, forwards instead of watching my face, I will turn you looking forwards. Yeah, rocks. This has probably eroded quite a lot, this track. So, okay, according to my map, I'm going to the correct direction. But do I see anything left of the infrastructure? No, there's another thing. Lots of stones. So in the early part of the 1900s, this place was basically sold to someone else. It wasn't worth digging the peat out of the bog and using it for anything for the Finlayson company, so they sold it. And I think it was in 1905 or 1906, basically, when they decommissioned the whole thing. Though there wasn't much knowledge other than the luxury cabin for the bosses burned down since it became abandoned. Some of the other brick buildings was demolished, bricks was sold, steam engine I guess was carted away. So I don't know if there's anything other than these gaps between the rocks going on here. But okay, anyway, back to walking with me. Let's go this way. Big trees. It's difficult. I will put links in the description to some of the pictures I have here, taken while the track bed was still in place. It's interesting, you can see the track bed here, how wide it is, or was. I will show it to you. Hello, here's me. So this is the track bed, and here's the other edge of it, and there's a ditch, and here's the other edge. So a single track could be fit here approximately. Okay, let's point you forward so that you can see what I see. Fallen tree. This is always unpleasant, as you don't know if it's fallen as far as it will go. Here again, they blew up some of the rock here to dig this pathway here. I don't see any drilling marks here at least. But like I said, 100 years of being abandoned doesn't leave much left underneath the tree. Let's see if I can find drill marks here from the time they made this. Nope. Now it looks a bit more narrow, there's ditches on both sides. So I'm supposed to be close to the place the remnants of the buildings are. Yeah, it looked very different based on the pictures back in 1909. The survey for this was done actually not so really long ago by the town. Actually done by some, according to online, by some company. I know nothing about that company. And the fun part is that I think I know why they did this survey, so that they could start building here. I'm not saying they're doing anything, but I've seen in other parts of Finland long ago, when there's been protected buildings, whereas companies and government officials have used loopholes to destroy whatever was left of them. Okay, there's some cars there. What the hell is going on in here? So I'm approaching some swamp. Maybe this is some recreational area nowadays. So I'm still walking on the track bed, something like this. All these trees are much, I guess, younger than what was back then. And this is basically where the track goes that way, and the track bed has really deformed, and there's nothing left here. Interesting, but a short bit of history. There's a lot of nice mushrooms here, Too bad I don't have space to carry them anywhere with me. But even in Finland, where it's everyone's right, so you can walk on any land you want. You just can't go to people's yards, their homes. You can't damage people's property if it's abandoned somewhere or something. You must respect that property, but you can walk. But I guess there's a lot of people who still don't really like that idea and try to limit people's access to places here. So this is really valid for the private or public land in Finland. Okay. Oh, I'm in some sort of forest. Doesn't look like a bog to me, to be honest. Huge anthills. Let's just on my survey map and see where I actually am. I'm supposed to be spot on in here. Let's read what it says. We're in the area approximately. There's supposed to be somewhere here a square hole in the ground with some remains of the buildings. So what you see here is the actual site. They're saying 10 meters times 10 meter. So there's supposed to be a square dig here. 10 meters times a few meters, that was steam engine or whatever was there. And it's supposed to have like walls around it. Oh, I think it's this one, and full of bricks. Okay, excellent. So let's go back to you not looking my face mode. So here it is. I don't know if you can see it. I don't really want to step into it. But here I can show you bricks. Remains some more bricks. So these are not just some random bricks. And here's another brick. Let's see if we can find a maker's mark or something on this. They did mark them. There's the plaster that's left from over 100 years ago. No marks. So I have my trusty phone with me, and let's try to find a better angle. Okay, by the bricks. Okay, so down there is a pit, a hole, where there's embankments around it, and in front of it are these bricks, around remains of bricks, broken bricks with mortar. According to the report which I have on my phone, this was most likely remains of the steam machine room. So there was question mark in the official documents, is this the place where they dried the peat? Because they basically took the wet peat, they dried it, they put into bales, and then they shipped it with the train all the way to the lake, the route which we came. And from there they took them by boat for the few years that they did it. So essentially this business ran I think less than 10 years. According to the document, there was also housing here for the workers. There was other buildings here in addition to this steam room or whatever this was, and the fancy pavilion for the the bosses of the company. The remains, which we go next to see, hopefully find of the whatever stones there's left from another building, they doubt that they are, the researchers doubt that they are not the remains of the workers' places, so those are completely unknown where they are. And there's a little mystery, not many photographs, anything left of this place. What was going on here? Interesting piece what I found is a piece of glass, a very thin piece of glass. But this is a protected site, so whenever you go to these places, please put them back where you found them. I just wanted to show this to you. I do not wish to interfere. So the piece of window glass. So this room had window glass, it had windows, it used red brick with mortar. It was quite a substantial building, well made. Undoubtedly if one would excavate here, there would probably be archaeologists would probably find a lot more stuff here, but yeah, that's it. Next, let's go and find that other building, the pavilion or whatever that was. That one will be a bit of a challenge. So one last look of this hole with the embankment, with the bricks. So here was some sort of steam room. Yeah, there's bricks everywhere here lying around, a lot of them. I think actually I'm climbing on top of a pile of bricks. Next, they mentioned in the documentation that other building where it remains is towards east from here, a small hill. Basically the foundation stones over 7 times 20 meter. So basically there's a foundation stones of a 7 times 20 meter building somewhere near here. Yeah, I'm not sure if the researchers who surveyed this was correct entirely on the size and location of this. I found pieces of bricks. I'm walking on them. There's some really big piece of brick wall there laying down over there. I think there was a much more substantial than just a building in that hole. I don't know what the company who surveyed this was looking into it, but you see them everywhere, unless they were just throwing them around. Yeah, I think it could have been actually I'm standing on top of the building. This was maybe even the embankment of the building where I'm now going down. Yeah, actually, bit of confirmation. We can see there's a brick too. So here's the track bed kind of, and there we was just a while ago, or will be in a while ago. And I think this whole edge here was probably the remains of the building somehow here. There's trees, there's stone stuff left here, but who knows what's underneath. So maybe this whole building was much bigger. And it would make sense that it was right next to the track here. They would load the dry stuff from a higher point of view directly to the trains. Let's go see further up there if I can find more of the remains. The track, according to the area of protection, is supposed to end soon, though I think this was not part of the track. The track ended probably there by the first building with the bricks. According to my understanding, that building on top of the hill is supposed to be somewhere over there. That way, basically. Let's see. I wonder if this is a full-blown bog. Walking there is going to be a bit of a difficult, even my rubber boots with me. Oh. I don't think I can walk through there. I just have no idea where I'm supposed to walk through in here. So I guess there can be a building over there. Okay, I think I'm not trying to go there. I don't want to. The problem with that kind of forest is that there's usually can be someone sitting there or resting there. Usually a big creature with antlers that is very dumb. So I don't want to go there. It's a surprise then. Anyway, they found some remains buildings. I read that the pavilion for the bosses was basically somehow eight-cornered building or something, but there wasn't. The remains of the building they found was a rectangle, so didn't really match that one. So I don't think they really have any idea where that pavilion was. They mentioned the documentation that there was no marks of burning there, whereas some of the locals said that it burned down immediately, though I don't think any of them were alive at the time when it happened. Let's go see the bog a bit, if we can see something else interesting. There's a hill there, small. Maybe it could be that they just marked the... Problem is that I'm not entirely sure that they marked everything correctly here to begin with. Let's go see the bogs where they took the peat out from. We're actually approaching one now. Better that you look at it instead of my face. So, there it is. And yes, I do know how to walk in bogs. I've done it a lot, but this one, not good one to walk unless you plan to swim. So this is the place where they used to take peat, take it somehow through this forest or from this forest to that direction, and into that treatment or handling station, because they described that the burned remains of the building, or the remains of the building was, oh, these buildings, these trees are sketchy, they're completely dead, and they won't be standing for very long. I just hope I won't be the ones. So okay, so there's a hill. They mentioned in the documentation there was a small hill near the track where the remains of the building was. According to the map, they're more towards other direction, not on the west side of the track. They were supposed to be the east side. And there was a small patch there. I have no idea what they exactly marked there. But the other side of the track is pretty much flat with the trees. That's why I didn't walk there, because I was thinking that there's nothing there. It's flat and trees, there's no hill there, at least I don't see anything. So one choice is that this is the hill they were talking about. Let's see. There's some big stone here, big trees. I think this is the only hill anywhere near here. Woodpecker. I'm just a bit cautious that I'm not stepping on something I should not be stepping on. This looks like some sort of platform or hill for something, definitely. So my guess, this could be one of the places of the buildings. It's much higher from the surrounding. I better go back, since I understood they dig between this hill and the track that there was some sort of depressions on the ground that effectively were or are remains. I think this is these longitudinal holes here you can see on the ground. I think these are remains of something they did here, at least according to the documentation I found. Maybe not, well, that would say there's the places, the brick houses, here's something longitudinal, and here's a high hill. So maybe this is logical place to have something else. And there's the swamp. I'm not entirely sure that the interpretations, whoever did this research, well, how much they did they dig? I think they did a lot of, I better return my track. I think the people who did that research were the museum officials. I mean, of course I could try to contact them, but I think they didn't know much, they didn't do a lot of interpretations, nor did they find maps. It was basically interpretation after assumption after assumption after assumption. They did some investigation, but how much, what, very difficult to tell. But yeah, I think this is what we are going to be able to find from here. Maybe I'm missing something, but yeah, this kind of looks like it. Let's see, I'm still looking around if I see anything else other than trees that are almost falling down. Yeah, there's a lot of unusual shapes in the ground, like if you look that way, which could signify that there could have been buildings there. They're just now under a lot of moss and soil and trees. And So I have my doubts. There's even hills like there, over there, which basically could be building remains. There's lots of patterns here, and moreover this part here, which we now know for sure belong to the facility of gathering the peat from the bog and drying it out and putting into bales and so on. And here's a lot of the old bricks. At least we found something. And even more, just by the road, another brick, much bigger lump of bricks. And here's more bricks. You can see some of the mortar there. And more bricks. And more bricks. So I would guess, based on the width of this here, you see the road there gets much more narrow. The road over there is much more narrow. Here, the road is kind of, there's an embankment over there, and an embankment full of bricks on this side. So maybe this was like the terminus of the train tracks, or the train that came from there, stopped here, just my imagination, and here this is where they loaded the peat on it. Yeah, very difficult to verify anything. There's nothing else left here other than bricks. No tracks, no nothing. Could there be bricks on the other side? Yeah, I mean, plenty of choices. There could be something on that side as well. Well, thank you for watching this video. Unfortunately, not much left here, and a lot of trouble getting here. I think it's time I will head now back to civilization, out of here, try to find my way out of here. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.